Hello, springtime.
Hi, how are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you. Thanks for stepping out of your busy schedule today.
I'm in the hotel restaurant, and I had about a complete meltdown panic here. I have a new computer and I hadn't downloaded Chrome, and so connecting the internet, and then I had to download Chrome. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah,
time. So
time
sorry.
is perfect. But I've been
Yeah.
I've been there with StreamYard, so yes, Chrome is a must. So
Yes.
Spring is at a training today. For those of you who don't know, Spring is my wife. She runs a team of about 25 agents and a brokerage of 50 agents. Is starting ancillary businesses like we were just talking around title, mortgage, and that will expand beyond there. So, Spring, one of the things I love about you is that you are always in growth mode. So, Spring actually heard from one of her friends about a week ago about this amazing NLP training and said, "Yeah, I'm going to do it." And so just like that, she's in this training and was able to step out for us. So thanks for joining us, Spring.
Yeah, anytime.
So today, I really wanted to drill in on your business, Spring, and talk about just the main things, just culture, really. I think culture is the thing that has made a major impact, a major difference in your business. And as I've watched you guys grow your business, I think there's two things there that stand out for me. One is mindset and your mindset training, and the other is all of your contests, your sales challenges, and just the culture of having agents hold each other accountable, which,
Yeah.
which is super fun for me. So I'm going to turn the time over to you and let you share with us some of those things that you've added into your business.
Yeah, so like Brian mentioned, I run a large real estate team. We've almost doubled in size in the last year. And in March, it's been March, I opened up my own brokerage. So part of the reason I wanted to do that is I wanted to create a culture that I wanted to be in, that for the whole environment, not just the actual brokerage, but I mean, not for the team, but the actual brokerage. And so a big component of that for me was the mindset. We all talk about that real estate is 80% mindset and 20% skill. And I knew that if we could get the culture part around them growing, personal growth, personal development, growing them as a business, just helping them in general accomplish what they wanted to, then my world would grow, right? My business would grow and everything. So we've implemented a lot of mindset coaching. We do performance coaching, is what it's called, every Wednesday. We actually offer it to anybody who wants to come, so they don't have to per se be in our brokerage. And I will tell you, it's probably the single best thing we've done, because we attract, that room is packed. With COVID, we've had to be a little bit more cognizant of it, but still, like, we attract agents from all over, and it's nothing brokerage specific. So we don't even like, it's not a recruiting thing, but we're recruiting talent into our world because they're like, whoa, I want this. And so it's usually not pertinent to real estate. Sometimes we'll put some real estate spin into it. That's probably been a big thing. And then, as you mentioned, we use CSU at a very, very, very high level, of course. You know, I've got you in my back pocket of how to execute it. And so we do a lot of sales challenges and a lot of accountability around it. So those are probably the two main components that have really changed our world right now. So
So I think when you say sales challenges, that goes over most people's head. It's like, how do you run a sales challenge? What do you put in there?
yeah.
What are the key things? Maybe you could talk about what you have going on this month for a sales challenge, and maybe just what you've seen be the most effective as you've been doing this now for at least a year.
Yeah, we've been doing a little more than a year, but so my sales challenge this month is actually boys versus girls, which I don't know why. I have a culture that just loves a friendly competition. And so somewhere they wanted to do male versus female. And so I don't have an equal number of men and women. And so I've had to weight the challenge, the points in Sisu differently for the male and the female. But a sales challenge looks like this. Generally, I'll figure out kind of like what's going on in my culture in the space of like, how is production, or do we need more listings, or are they sending the business to the ancillary to the ancillary partners, etc. I'll look at it based off of looking through Sisu at the different reports and whatnot. And then I'll decide based off of that what the contest needs to be. Sometimes I'll run them monthly. If I do run a monthly contest, I'll run it with weekly incentives. So for example, right now, the men and women contest, they get points. It's for the month. They get points for having conversations, listing agreements signed, and under contract, and a small point for each appointment gone on. They have to hit 40 under contracts this month, or there's no reward period. But if once we get to 40, then the winning team point wise gets the overall prize of whatever they chose. And so the gentlemen chose something completely different of the females, but the girls chose to do a dinner, a night out, and a spa day. It works. We use it in our Slack channels. So our VA posts to the Slack channel 3 times a day, the scoreboards, to keep them top of mind. And then we have TVs up in all our offices. So we're very aware of where we sit for the contest, for the day, week, month. One of the tips and tricks I would tell you, if you are using Sisu, is we keep our scoreboards for that day. So we don't do it up until for the whole month, so that they can see like where do they have to end that day to stay on pace. I only started implementing that probably a month ago, and it's been a game changer because it just seemed overwhelming at the beginning of the month when you see this circle most of the way not finished. Even though it's blue, it still was a little bit overwhelming. So we just have it before that specific day, and it's been awesome.
So you're actually having people report out sales contest numbers on a daily basis, even though it's a monthly contest. Is that right?
Yeah. So the VA, what they'll do, so the VA posts first thing in the morning our overall scoreboard onto Slack. And then I'll say in our morning huddle, hey guys, looks like we're 2 listings behind, blah, 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 whatever it is. Or we need to have 200 conversations today. And they all Slack, after we do our huddle, they Slack out their rocks. But then we have the scoreboard, the actual scoreboard, so our dashboard, and then the contest scoreboards posted 3 more times in the Slack channel for that day. So it just keeps it top of mind of where are we sitting. When there's not a lot of, I don't want to say accountability, but when the contest goes silent, it loses its momentum. So we do everything that we can to do that. Oh, you're showing my Slack channel. But you have special access to that.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
I actually got a text over the weekend from one of our customers and said, I think they'd seen this or something. They're like, do you guys automatically post daily posts into Slack channel of pictures of the snapshots of the scoreboards and leaderboards? Yeah. But Spring has a VA do that. So just so you guys know.
I do that. And you can see, so there's the for this was this morning, and then you can see the challenge scoreboard, and he put in, these were their names of their teams. The Mayhems are 79-85, and the boys, your thing is over the boys score, but there you go. And then throughout the day, like Mitch is a brand new agent of mine, so he just put 1 appointment by team meeting. Those were his rocks for the day. Like, so everybody's just posting out what their rock is. Rock is listing by 5, whatever. And then throughout the day, as they do cool things or have success, they'll post in the Slack channel. So like Mitch put BBA signed, and you can see they give him 7 people gave him the yay, and then good job, Mitch. Yes. So we run this culture of like, let's cheer everybody on and all that jazz. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun to see. I don't know if you guys are not leveraging Slack, maybe there's some other thing you use for that. But if you see the culture of her business, it's very much just team camaraderie. Everyone's cheering for each other. It's a culture of positive accountability. And you've always had that, but with this whole mindset thing, it's really taken it to the next level. So maybe talk a little bit more about that, Spring, because I think that's something that's really new to to most people. I mean, it's one thing
Yeah.
to talk about mindset. It's really another thing to live by mindset and the
Yeah.
type of training you guys are doing. And Ricky Kane actually put in here that they would love to attend your next mindset class. So maybe you can
Yeah.
stream one of those for
Totally.
on this.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually yes and yes. And we're actually going to come out with a coaching platform for agents because we see that it's so necessary. But absolutely, let's connect on that. So what happened, and I would advise all of you guys to do this. So probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I had a life coach, and she approached me and just said, "Hey, Spring, I have this vision. I want to do like a seminar, and you're who I want to partner with on this. Can you help me with it?" And I said, "Yeah, what are you thinking?" And the problem with life coaching or mindset coaching, in my perspective, is that it's a lot of this, which we all know our whole life is created between your two ears, right? But there's not a lot of action. Like, what do you have to do to make this happen? So we created this Love Your Life Summit, and I targeted agents as my avatar because that's where I had the influence in the marketplace to fill it. We packed the room. We had like 180 people, I think, right? Show up, full day event, awesome, amazing. From that though, my aha was I recruited so many dang agents to the brokerage or whatever, people just being like, this was amazing. And so I realized that was the secret sauce is you give them what they come for, but you actually give them what they need. And most agents and or people, anybody really needs that training. And so we started implementing it at a crazy high level. I partnered with a gentleman who used to work for Tony Robbins. He was one of his speakers for 5 years. And I was fortunate enough that he moved to Utah because he was getting married, and it's a random way that we connected. But so together we'll come up with what the performance coaching is, and we'll do the mindset training. We'll at this time, so what we're doing right now, because we're heading into 2021, is we're already talking about 2021. What is it you want to create? What do you want to create in your personal life? And then what do you need to believe and who do you need to become in order to accomplish that? So if you want to make $100,000, awesome, or 200 or 300 or whatever that number is, but what do you need to believe about yourself? And then who do you need to become? Who do you need to show up? And we coach around that. So we are very heavy on the numbers and productivity, but I would say it's a 50-50. We're also very heavy on like, who are you becoming as a human? And we have a massive growth plan ahead of them for each one of them in my world of how they can grow, whether it's like I'm helping them get to become the top agent, do a team within the team, own a team, do the whatever it is. Like, we know that if we can help them grow, then our business grows, and that's kind of our mindset around it. So.
And Spring, I think it's more than just grow in business. When you talked about growing, you said grow as a team within a team or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what I've seen is you guys are really focused on their overall lives and helping them grow and just have a better life. And I think that's what really sets you apart from any team, especially any brokerage that I've seen. Because I just haven't seen that. Not saying people aren't focused on it, just not at the levels that you guys are.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying with the Love Your Life. But Love Your Life had nothing to do with real estate, right? But that was my aha of like, whoa, people want or need this of the high energy, high vibe. Like, how do I create, right? And so when they can realize that, hey, I can create the life that I want, and that could feed into real estate. It could not, but when people start showing up differently, then their worlds start to shift. We had this conversation last night, right? With the training I'm going through, there's 3 key components, you guys, to your life being magical. And most of your wealth is either from your personal relationship, your health, or your health, and then your wealth. So it's all intertwined. We can't just focus on one thing. So. Okay, yes, so NLP is awesome. I agree.
So Amy's probably experienced some NLP. So it's just really fun to see in these and I've been to obviously a few of these mindset trainings that you guys have done, but it's not just about real estate. It's about how they're showing up in life, in all areas of their life, be it their family life, whatever it is they're doing, and really taking their life to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say 90% of our training is not on real estate. Like, you can find that on YouTube. You can Google it. You can get that from your brokerage. I mean, you're coming into my world if you want to grow. Like, that's bottom line. Like, you're wanting to grow as a person, you're wanting to grow your business. By growing as a person, you're going to grow your business.
Yeah. So, Spring, you guys are working on something right now that Greg Harrelson hit on earlier today. I thought maybe you could talk about that a little bit. You guys are working on some videos for like all of your agent onboarding and different things like that. Anything along those lines you want to share today?
Yeah, so we're wanting just to make that process super streamlined. So, I mean, we have some of it. We've done the Google Drive thing, but it's clunky. Let's just be real about it. So we're in the process of just filming absolutely everything, like we've documented, and whether we use Loom or we actually spent all of last week in the studio filming. And so we're going to put it in Kajabi so we can actually see if they watch the videos. And then we're also building it out into our CSU recruiting platform. So we know that in my business, that recruiting is the name of the game. We know that agents will come and go, and also that the agent's goals can't be my goals. So meaning that if they might have the goal to sell 40 homes, but ultimately if they don't hit it, my numbers aren't reliant upon that. It's like I need to have enough agents that based off of my avatar to hit my goal. So we use the CC recruiting just like we use our other one, but we're building out the actual onboarding process. And we have some of it built out in there from when they, in the task management, like when we onboard in to them coming in, it's all built out and our VAs handle it all. But from there, we're going to take it and build in the complete learning, like step by step, and have it just in CSU. Right now, I do have it in another platform, but I want to have it that everything goes into CSU, because that's really what we use for pretty much 90% of our business at this point. So it'd just be nice to have it all in one place.
Yeah. And along those lines, for those of you who don't know, our focus right now at CSU is really making it so we can be the core communication platform for all of your communication between your vendors, your clients, everybody. So, Spring, I want to back up a little bit and go back into culture for a minute. People always ask me, what are the best challenges to run? You talked about the men and women.
Yeah.
But like, should I run 10 challenges a month? Should I run one? Should I run 3? What's the most effective, or has been most effective for you?
So I always do a monthly challenge. So there has been one time that I ran a 10-day challenge with another team. This was awesome, actually. They were another team on CSU, exact same size in our marketplace, that we can have a little bit of camaraderie. So we kicked it off with a Zoom of all the teams kind of talking trash a little bit, and then we measured it. And that particular one we did based off of conversations, listings, and under contracts. The 10-day one was super fun in that regard. That was awesome too, because the whole team worked together as a team. I really enjoyed that. A couple of other contests that we've ran have been like I said, it's going to be based off of what we want, or what we need to accomplish. So usually I'll just pick one metric. So the last month we did the metric of under contract, and I said, okay, if you guys as a team I broke them into 3 different teams. The one thing I'll say about this on the contest, if you have too many people on a team, some of the people get lost, like meaning it's okay if they don't perform. And so I've broke them down into smaller teams so that every person has to contribute to the overall score.
And what if they don't? What happens?
Well, if they don't, they don't. But I mean, at the end of the day, they work in a small enough team that the team leader is holding them accountable. So what we do is we break them into teams. So I had 3 teams, and I assign one person to be that team leader, and that team gets their own Slack channel. And so they communicate that way. And it's nice because it takes the accountability off of me having to be the like, what's up, what's up, what's up. Their peers are holding them accountable, right? Because they're like, hey, what's up? You're not showing up. And so that's been really nice. So I usually will not run a large contest where they can get lost. Like I'll break them into smaller teams at this point. So I broke them into smaller teams. And then I said, okay, if your team hits this standard of 15 homes, you guys qualify to go to Park City for the night. And whoever gets the most points of the teams is the winning team. But if you as an overall team hit 45 houses, I'll take you all to Park City. And so once they started getting really close to that, they came together as a team and it didn't matter who won. And I think I know they did 55 houses. So I think that it just depends on what you need, or like what your culture at that point of what's going to get people going. Next month, I'll do some cash. So I'll do a Christmas cash or whatever. I do right now, we have new lenders on board. And so we are trying to get them a little bit more business. And so we are running incentives of like, hey, $50 for every pre-approval letter that comes back from our lender. And we pay that out cash that next morning. And it's just so they're highly motivated by that now money. So that's another thing that we do as well, but only when needed.
What I've noticed is at the beginning of your contest with all the trash talking and all the team choosing and stuff like that, that your agents are more productive at the beginning because they're in this battle and there's the trash talk and they're staying late and they're trying to get the lead because you're giving points for conversations, for maybe appointments, and maybe for whoever goes under contract. Usually you choose like three different things like that. So that's one thing, is they're working late. I also love that your agents hold each other accountable, which makes it you have to do a lot less of that, which is the culture that you've created.
Yeah, it just makes it nice because it's like, I'm sure most people listening to this are team leaders. And it's crappy to have to go in and be the one that's holding them accountable all the time, Question on here: do your agents self-report their numbers in CSU? Yes and no. So, yes, they do on their contacts. That's just one of those things. I know I could probably connect it to Mojo, but I've heard the whole feedback of I made the call from this, or they called here or whatever. And I'm just like, that's a battle that I'm just not going to go with. But they do have to submit in their buyer brokers and listings and everything for those numbers to count. So we do run off of the honor system. And do I think that it's all 100% probably accurate? No. But it does give me a good metrics, and we have a high accountability around their numbers. So twice a week, they're reporting their numbers out, once in their one-on-one to me, and then once in team meeting in front of everybody. And so they don't want to have numbers that aren't accurate. Like they don't want to be like, oh, I made 300 conversations, but I didn't get any business, or I only made 20 conversations or had 20 conversations. So I'm assuming they're probably semi-accurate, but the metrics on the actual appointments gone on under contracts and all that are on point.
I think the thing too is if somebody is just lying about their conversations, very, very quickly you're going to discover they have a horrible conversion rate from conversations to appointments or appointment set. And there's an opportunity for coaching right there. Either they're lying or they're not very good at what they're doing. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, I do a weekly one-on-one with them. We sit down, or Justin or their team leader, and we go through like, okay, you made 100. You had 100 conversations and the activities. And so we'll talk about if there's a disconnect, like, wait a minute, you had 100 conversations and no results, like what's up? Or, oh my gosh, you had 100 conversations, but you didn't convert this. Does that make sense? And so we'll be able to figure out where the gap is in their business pretty easily by that one-on-one.
So square on the mindset. So I think this is the hardest question for most people. I think some people have experienced a little bit of Justin, And
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
awesome.
okay, I don't know if you all saw the video we sent out prior to this, but that was Justin, Spring's business partner. So
Mhm.
what's the best starting point? I mean, how do you do this on a daily basis?
Hmm. Good question. I'm highly trained, hence I'm at NLP right now.
So invest in
Mainly,
yourself. That's the first thing.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing, you guys, like your business grows to the extent that you do. So you've got to be able to provide massive value to your agents. And so I would say it starts with you. But if you want to start that process, I mean, it all started with me, probably even like a little bit of Tony Robbins. And then we took some of those materials and have implemented them. Um, I think for me, like if I were to tell you where to start, because it is the end of the year, I would have them start getting really clear on what do they want. So the tangible and the intangible of how they want to feel, and what does that look like, and then start doing on the training of who do they need to become in order to create that. And that's how I'd probably like start that process. And we're launching a coaching company that is based off of that. It's going to be for the real estate space. It's going to be called Meta You, which is meta means beyond. So beyond you, beyond real estate. Probably within the next month. We're in the studio filming. So that will be an option as well. If you're like, man, I need to leverage this. This is not like we are gonna have that option of our weekly coaching that you can plug into. But I would just start with each one of them one-on-one and really get on that personal level of what is it that they want, and then figuring out how they can get there, and then go from there.
Great advice there, Spring. So Sunny is asking, do you care if we share your challenge boards? And
Yeah, go for
if
it.
so, we'll just put them in the chat today.
Yeah, that's great. I
Okay.
also, just so you guys know too, I'll run different things. Like if I'm like, what's going to incentivize? Like I feel a little weird telling you guys this, but the guys chose they wanted an Xboxes. I'm like, all right, an Xbox is going to motivate y'all. Okay. So like if the dudes win, they're getting an Xbox, you know? So I'll go with what's going to motivate them to perform. And they are showing up at crazy high levels. So they must really want that Xbox. But so I would tell you that
And,
too. Let's get a
and
gauge on what they want.
and what do the women get if they
Well,
win?
they said they wanted to do dinner and a spa night. So we'll figure it out from there. Well, one of them actually was like, hey, how about you pay for half of our hair extensions? I was like, yeah, no. That sounds great, but no. So they come up with some weird stuff, you guys. Like, I've bought skis before. We've done trips. We've done all kinds of incentives. So again, just make it fun, something that they're like, my team loves the contest. It's a huge part of our culture.
Well, I think a big part of it is you've let the team help decide what those rewards are going to be. So it's something they care about. If you just came up with some gift cards or some random thing that nobody cares about, you're not going to drive motivation.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you said that. I know my time is almost up, but some things motivate others and some don't. So like the trip motivates certain people and the money motivates some people. So I try to mix it in throughout the month. So like right now with the whole lender incentive of getting pre-quals back, that is designed for the people who are incentivized for that now money. And then the Xbox, the trip, or for those people that just depend on what they want, like if they want that overall like goal, you know.
So we'll wrap up with the prize values. I think it's important that no matter the size of your team or brokerage, that whatever you're rewarding, make the number high enough that you know you're going to make more than enough money to pay for something nice.
Yeah, so you and I have had this conversation a lot because I feel like I've got myself on a slippery slope of these contests. I went big and it's gotten bigger and it's gotten bigger. And I'm like, oh, there's no turning back. So I learned my lesson the hard way one time of that I didn't put a bare minimum of what they had to hit as an overall team. And they had a crappy month and I still had to pay out contest dollars on a crappy month. So I always set that bare minimum standard of, hey, as a team, this is where you have to hit. And then above that, this is what the prize is. And that seems to work for me if I'm going larger dollar prize. I put out really high stretch that if I have to spend $3,000 on a contest, I'm making it because they're pushing, but it hasn't always been that way. So,
all right.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to answer this. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to let you go. Yes. I have had them buy into the contest. Especially if it's like a fitness contest. We did one of those, tracked it in Sisu a few months ago. They all had to have a buy-in, and it was interesting. But yes, we will do that sometimes, but generally not. So.
Okay. Well, Spring, thanks for jumping out of your training to be a part of our training. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you tonight.
All right. Bye, guys. Nice to see you all. Okay, bye.